and welcome back to another Bounce Back Better episode. Today I'm talking about focus fluff. And focus fluff is where we think we're doing something, we think we're on track, but really we're not. And what causes that and what can we do about it? So let's backtrack. We'll get into the podcast and I'll tell you how this happened. Hello, welcome to the Bounce Back Better podcast. As I said, today, focus fluff. Let's go back to why this podcast was like this. Before we do that, actually, this podcast is for people who want a better life, who want more success, who realize that doing it on their own can be hard, who realize that sometimes you get knocked down, you've got to get back up again. I'm sure there's a song in that. But it's just for people who are wanting more. And if that's you, well, this will be the best 15 to 20 minutes of your week. So hold on tight. Today, let's talk about why focus fluff. So a couple of days ago, I had it was probably a week or so, had a chat with my friend Leonie, who owns House of Flowers in Caloundra. Actually, she's the flower magnate. Now she actually owns the flower market and she's got another one now. She's like all the flower shops where we live. Anyway, she said to me, your podcasts are cool, but they've changed lately. And I sort of got thinking about what was going on, like why had they changed and what did that mean? Because she would only say that, I figure, if she felt like she liked them how they used to be. And maybe she did and maybe she didn't. I'm not sure. But I did a bit of research around it. And I think what I did is I became more teachy and preachy rather than Hilary, like a real Hilary podcast, because I'm about no fluff, get shit done, stop making excuses, check yourself out. What are you doing wrong? Get it sorted. That's pretty much me in a nutshell. And there's none of this woe is me and we can hum and meditate for as long as you want. It's not going to make it any better. We actually have to do something about it. It may include humming and meditating, but it's not going to be the only thing. And when she said that to me, it kind of struck a chord. So I did a bit of research and then I started thinking about, yes, what was that about? Why had I changed to a more preachy, teachy style? And it's like achy, breaky heart, teachy, preachy style. And I think it was because I was really concerned about giving you listening more value. And I wanted to give you more tips and more reasons that you can fix the issue that you have today. Or you might look at yourself and think, yes, I need to do that. But I think that is something that listeners like, but it became less me-like. And I do always give away some sort of tip, but I just changed the way that I did it. So I thought, I just kind of lost my focus. And that got me really thinking about you listening. Where have you lost focus in your life? Because it happens all the time. We're on track to do something or we'd like to do something and we get distracted all over the place. And I call it focus fluff because we'd stop focusing. And I can tell you a great story, which just sums this up completely. I had, and I may have told it, it's definitely one of my keynotes, but anyway, at the Stanford Plaza in Brisbane. And I just love that hotel. It's not super posh, but it's just really elegant and opulent. And it has like a cascading staircase and big chandeliers. And it's just lovely. And I always feel like they're going to say, oh, hello and welcome to you, Lady Hilary, because I really should have been born in that era where I was just this Lady Hilary and I had lots of maids and they dressed me. Oh, how good would that have been? But anyways, I've digressed. So I was walking through there. We were just checking in, and this lady walked past me with this most gorgeous white suitcase, and it had a little makeup bag on top. You know how they slip over the handle? And I thought, oh my God, I want that. I kid you not. The next day, I just went and bought the whole deal, and I got matching, one for me and one for Bob. I thought we both need this. This is a must. And he was absolutely stoked about that. Just couldn't think of anything better than having matching suitcases like the lady at the Stanford Plaza. So then fast forward a couple of months and we're off to New Zealand. And there I am walking through the airport with my white suitcase, thinking I am it. I have made it in life. I have succeeded. I am there. I've got there because I had the white suitcase. And have you ever felt like that? You know, you just did that special thing and you just feel ultra special. So there I was, admiring myself in all the shiny surfaces, as you do, wearing some sort of designer dress and thinking I was just, the queen of Qantas. And here I am, strutting along, and then my phone rings and it's my son. So I also carry, I always have a handbag with a long handle and it has a lot in it. I've got my laptop in it and I've got all sorts of things in there. So I've got that going on and I've got the wheelie suitcase and Bob's ahead of me and I'm following him. But while I'm doing that, I've got my phone next to my ear and it's all crinkled up and I'm walking along, and then without focusing on where I'm going, following the leader, which is what I was doing. I was following the person who was going to the same place I thought I was going, which it was, but maybe it was in the wrong direction. It didn't actually work with my life, i.e., it didn't work with my suitcase, my level of distraction, my designer dress, my high heels, all of that stuff. Anyway, I follow him onto the escalator, and luckily there was no one else on there. I would have taken people out. Halfway up, I lose my balance and I am teetering on the side of the escalator. On the next thing, I'm surfing down the escalator on top of my suitcase, head first, going down. And as the escalator's going up, I kept surfing down. So it was a continuous thing. It wasn't just she fell for 2 steps and got back up. I was actually surfing. I was like in the Bells Beach surf competition, if you know what that is. So it was just nonstop. And I'm sort of getting hysterical by now. The contents of my handbag tipped out, went absolutely everywhere. There's like lipstick, lollies, loyalty pads, you name it, all racing up the escalator without me. My laptop fell out. Oh my goodness, it was just horrific. There's Bob at the top, not sure whether he should come down and help me, but trying to get over my stuff that's it's turning up without me. And so that's all happening. I managed to reach up, can't get there. I did it like 3 times before I managed to somehow turn myself around. And I end up at the top of the escalator on my hands and knees. If you know escalators, they've got those sharp metal things. So I'm bleeding. It's out of control. And I was furious. I looked at him and he was actually smirking. Yes, he was. And I said, why did we not take the lift? Why would we not have done that? And he just said, well, you were just following me. You could have taken the lift. And he sort of, at that point, we both walked away from the escalator and just could not stop laughing. I started to laugh, and I think it was a type of shock because I was injured. I'd bruised myself quite a lot. It was quite horrific what I'd gone through. And oh my goodness, what you'd pay for that airport security footage would be huge. But anyways, I survived to tell the tale. But it really points out focus, Fluff, doesn't it? Because I was not focused where I was going. I was following the others. And where in life do you follow the others? And really, you're not taking traction, or it's not the right path for you. We were going to the same destination. So if we apply this to your life, the destination might be success in some way, whatever that looks like, with your health, with wealth, relationship, property development, a business, whatever, a skill you want. It will be that. But your journey is different to somebody else's. You can't always follow their exact journey. And also pay attention to what you're doing. And I wasn't. I had focus, Fluff, everywhere. I had like my own reflection, and I was on the phone, and I just had too much happening in my head, holding a conversation, and I wasn't paying attention. And that's what happens to all of us in life. We start on a journey and we stop paying attention. So let me ask you that. Where in your life has focus, Fluff, slowed you down? Because we live in a world now where we have information overload. We can use Google or AI, I shouldn't say not so much Google, but with AI now, we can find out anything we want. But it's not about the information. The information is now easy to get. It is the execution. That's number one. And number two is the overload of information that stops you moving forward. And you will fall into one of those categories. And maybe there are others where you've got that information overload, so you're not doing anything. So you know what it is you need to do. And I guarantee that anyway. In your life right now, there's a level of something that you want, level of success, health, whatever it is. You know what I'm always talking about. You want to do property development, you want to start a business, you want to use your social media more effectively, you want to start a podcast, you want to write a book, you want to lose 10 kilos, you want to run a half marathon, you want to, insert whatever that is. You want something and you know what to do, but you're not doing it. And is it focus, Fluff, the distraction of everything else in your life that's stopping you from getting there? And if it is, it's time to stop and have a look, because that was a really big wake-up call for me. That wake-up call was, hang on a minute, pay attention, Hilary. I mean, not only could I have seriously injured myself more, I could have seriously injured somebody else. So the lesson is, as we all know, where focus goes, energy flows. And my focus was all over the place. So my energy was all over the place. Next thing, I'm sliding down an escalator all over the place. And just thank goodness I didn't hurt anybody else. Just myself was bad enough. So I suppose my overarching question to you is, what is that one thing for you? And what do you need to focus on? And how can you focus? For you, it may be setting aside that 10 minutes where you actually sit down and think, am I serious about this? Is this something I'm going to do? And will I do it? And if you are serious about it and it is something that you're going to do and you would really like to, then decide how you're going to make it happen. Let's not look at the reasons why you're not. The reason we know those reasons, apart from the fact that you're being distracted by too much. And all of these things really are just fear dressed up in a pretty red dress, because it's the fear allowing you to be distracted. It is the fear stopping you from taking action. Mostly it's fear. So we don't want to do it for a reason, because we've got to give up something. So let's look at health. If it is health, often it means you've got to get out of bed earlier to exercise. You don't get to eat your favorite foods. You've got to do more, and you're going to lose something. That's what it feels like. And that's that fear of that loss. And that goes with everything, when it comes to social media posting. What if somebody looks at it? What if they don't like it? What if they do? What if it inspires somebody? We don't think like that. We're worried about other people judging us and what will they think and who do you think you are, and it's all that stuff that does not really matter. And you shouldn't think about it. If you are in this world and it's something that you want to do, then it is just something that you must do. So we don't really have to unpack the whys. You just need to say to yourself, right, it's a go. I'm doing this. And how can I make it happen? So whatever that is, insert success to you in that particular area. What is that one thing that you need to do? Is it to sit down and spend 20 minutes a day? I mean, AI is pretty hot right now. Is it to spend 20 minutes a day learning AI? Is it 15 if you only have 15? If you have no time, where do you find the time? Do you cut a lunch break? Do you not even have a lunch break? Do you get up earlier? Do you stay up later? Do you extract yourself from somewhere? Does somebody else take over the childcare for 15 minutes? Do you just say no to something that you normally go to? I mean, I do all of those things. One, I become just as distracted as you and just as putting offy as you are. Then I decide, and it really is that. It's that decision. I decide I'm going to do it, and I just find that time. For me, over the last, I'm going to say 3 to 4 weeks, I've most days, not today. Today was only 5 a.m., but I've been getting up at 4 a.m. I know, crazy, because I need to understand AI more, because it's really important in business, and I understand that. For me to have that time to learn, practice, implement, etc., I've been doing it at 4 a.m. I know, super crazy, but I am really gaining traction. And that's important to me. And I've learned so much. So I'm spending a lot of time immersing myself in that, because that's my thing right now. You'll have your thing. There's been probably a bit of a less focus on my health. Ask me if I've been to the gym as often lately. I'm going to say a solid no. Not as often as I would like to. It's just making those compromises to make that thing work. I mean, an example of making that compromise to make sure that you have that focus time, that you so you don't surround yourself in focus fluff. When I say focus fluff, I kind of think of like cotton wool, like circling around you and clouding your vision. When you make that decision, it's very empowering, and then you have to learn to make it happen. So last night we finished work a little bit later. The day had been raining. It was really crazy. And I just said to Bob, isn't it just suck that wine's unhealthy, cigarettes are bad for you, and you can't eat burgers and fries all the time? How good would life be if that was actually acceptable behavior? But it's not. We need to exercise. We can't drink alcohol every day. We can't smoke cigarettes. They're terribly bad for you. And what was the other one? Burgers and fries. We just can't eat burgers and fries all the time. It's just not a thing. Luckily there's no teenage boys listening to this. They'll be like, why not? All of that stuff's okay. Well, not teenage, but there are some in that demographic that may be thinking that that's okay. But what I'm going for is to get to insert success, your words, get to where that places that you want to go. There will be sacrifice. You need to learn to focus. And it's having that awareness of where you're not focusing, where you're not paying attention to the thing that you want, and then deciding that you're going to do it and carving out that time. Focus on it. Turn off the distractions. Turn off the bloody cell phone. Turn it upside down. Have it on silent. All that stuff, and make it happen. All right? Make it happen. So I think that's enough for this episode. Focus fluff. It will stop you getting to where you want to go. You will end up on your bum, sliding down an escalator, hurting yourself and potentially others. So I just hope for you that you've got something out of this. It sounds more like a Hilary podcast, and you have a fabulous day. Well, that's it for me. Remember, I love it when you text a friend and tell them how amazing they are. I would love for you to do that and share this podcast with somebody. I would love for you to share it. And oh my gosh, even more, put a comment on YouTube. That would be my absolute favorite. All right. I will catch you guys again next week. Bye for now.